So here's a recovery on one of the vehicles that I'm doing. I'm pulling the refrigerant out and I tested it and the refrigerant is clean. Let's see, we got 100% R134 refrigerant. It only has 1.7% air contamination in it. Not too bad. But this is one of those places where I'm in what is called a underground or not legitimate or legal shop that works. So this is roughly 50 feet by 35 feet, 1,750 square feet, little under the table shop. That means there's no licensing, there's no permits, no inspections, no nothing. This is held in a, let's say, not listed for automotive work, but it's a way where you could rent a space in a commercial industrial commercial or industrial residential area, not residential, that was listed for another purpose, but you keep the doors closed. There's no signs in the front of what kind of business goes on inside here. And at the same time, they do have a little front automotive shop, and but it's not big enough. And it costs so much for the city and county of San Francisco, or any place really, especially here in California, it's ridiculous, that all the fees and how long it takes to get permission to open up a shop, while you're going through the process of renting a place, and you're spending like, $8,000 a month on a small little tiny place that you're renting. So you'd go through the rental, but then the city doesn't approve you right away. You have to go through inspection and permits, and this can take months. So every month, a small little shop would have to spend $8,000 keeping a place open, not using it, but just paying rent. They're not allowed to do any building or constructions or tear down, adding electrical or heating or anything like that until the city says it's okay. But until that time, you have to pay the landlord, say $6,000, $8,000 more a month or more, depending on the size of the place. And it might take 6 months, 9 months for you to get approval while you're taking a negative loss. So many shops open up little tiny places that are basically under the table, not quite legitimate. And it's just what they have to do to stay in business. It's, the city is just ridiculous. The city is responsible for bankrupting more small businesses than businesses get to go into business. A lot of times a shop like this thinks they're going to go into business and they're going to rent a place and they're just going to have a construction crew come in and build the place out. They're going to have the guys come in with the lifts and everything needed, but the city will take months, can even take a year or more before you get your final approval. In the meantime, you're going bankrupt, not able to do business because the city takes so long to approve anything. And that's just the way. You have to work around the rules or under the table. You open up a legitimate tiny little shop, get that approved, it was existing, and then you open up multiple under the table, no name on the front of the shops, so you can shuffle your cars over there. And sometimes they have workers who will work at night on the vehicles over there or weekends, but have the doors down, no customers come in. It's like hush hush, nobody knows what it is. And this is life. I've always seen this all the time in my last 30 years of being in my own business. And if they tried to do it legally and do with all the permits and everything, you'd basically go bankrupt. It's just stupid. Though how horrible San Francisco, California put it down is really bad. But San Francisco is just stupid ridiculous on how slow they are at anything. And when you try to call people to get information on what you need, you play phone tag, going back and forth, trying to find out what departments are responsible for what. And it comes down to he said, she said, who said, what said about what processes you need. It's very unorganized. So I actually do not blame the guys who open up shops that are not legitimate, because it's just a necessity. They have to make a living somehow. And I kind of used to be, you say, oh, you have to follow all the rules and laws and stuff like that. But here in the city, the rules and laws are set to put you into bankruptcy. All right, I'll see you guys. And this goes for restaurants too and many other businesses. All right, signing out. See you guys.